Hello everyone, welcome to Mod of the Week, and today we're going to be answering a fundamental issue that us as humans have, alright? We're going to be addressing a fundamental problem with the power of ISAAC's head in a thin, watery film, as we grab ISAACS so that we have ISAACS in our ISAACS and can fire ISAACS to connect with the enemy ISAACS. And what this ISAAC lets us ISAAC is something quite ISAAC. Basically, what we can do now is apply contact effects with our tears. Is that not pretty damn neat? Like, is that not really quite cool as a concept of an item? And to theme it as ISAAC himself firing ISAAC so ISAAC touches the enemies and does ISAAC things. That's pretty good. Like, I can get ISAAC that. Alright, that was pretty bad, I will admit. But you might be wondering then, you might be thinking there, going, well, you said we're going to be answering a problem that we've been having. How does this answer the problem? Well, the problem that it answers is, you know, when you're in like a line, when you're queuing for something, when you're waiting around, or when you just see another person, or someone that you know probably is more normal, and you just think to yourself, I wonder what would happen if I just took tactical damage and cleared the room real easy, you know, just like 1-2, some quick maths right there. Now, what would happen if I just poked them right now? You ever get that feeling? You ever looking at someone, like you're in a queue, so you're having to stare at the back of their head and you're going, I just want to poke them in the back. Is that just me? It might be just me. I've been told I've had a severely limited maturity period, and I'm actually years behind my physical state. That might have something to do with it. It's a really rare condition called moronitis. And I just, you know what I'm saying, right? There's always a part of you that has thoughts, right? That has thoughts of, God, imagine this. Like, imagine just randomly you stood in line and the dude behind you just slaps you in the back of the head and then he's like whistling innocently like nothing happened, right? Like, that would obviously be a weird situation to be in. Like, what would you do, right? You feel it and you're like, ah! And you turn around and you just see a dude like, whoo, whoo, whoo. I can't whistle. Like, if I try and whistle, it sounds like, I can't whistle. I sound like a sad balloon deflating. But if you turn around and they're just there doing that, not looking at you, I mean, do you say something? You can't be 100% sure it's them. But at the same time, it's kind of weird going, excuse me, sir, did you just slap me? Like, that's not a question you ask people, so you wonder what that is. So now, thanks to this item, this is the problem that gets solved, of course, we now have the power to touch people from far away. It sounds creepy when I phrase it like that. I will admit that did come across as creepier than I intended it to sound. I don't want Daddy's love at the moment. And again, great sentence there. I will get that because spun tends to be quite a common occurrence in this. And the tarot deck isn't awful. Like, it actually isn't awful. We can kind of end up with some cool stuff. I'm also going to open the gold chest because I got a good feeling. Yep, we made some money on that one. Looking pretty cool. And apart from that, do I want to? I mean, actually, I have a lot of hearts on the floor thanks to my little shard of broken glass here. And hey, would you look at that? It's supporting my spun very muchly. Of course, we're going to slowly pick up all the contact items as we go on. At least what I believe are all the contact items. Admittedly, it's not a category that I often care about that much, so I might miss a few, and I apologize if I do, but there you go. We can now telekinetically mess with people from across the room thanks to ISAACS. That's what I'm trying to get at here, okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong, alright, with a friendly poking. No, there's no way of phrasing this. I can't justify this, can I? I've sunk the boat here. The boat is royally sunk. I can't make this better in any way. Did he just jump out the floor into a radioactive poop and then immediately die? Is that what just went down there? Because that is that is something special. Like, alright, my attack plan, I will leap out from underground, dive at his face, and he will not know what hit him. Laughs in Pin. And he does so. And then that's my impression of Pin jumping out the ground and being melted by radioactive material. By the end of this, of course, we will... Oh, look at this. We're getting some quality. I've now got red ISAACS, which is fantastic, of course. Oh, we can turret our ISAACS. Yes. Let's grab anemic. Let's grab a varicose veins. Let's finish spun off, shall we? That sounds good. And let's get the shadow, you know, let's get all of our lovely, lovely touch items here. And then do I want the turret? See, I'm not sure I do. I'm really not sure I do. We'll do the first couple waves and we'll find out. So for now, we're going to apply a lot of cool stuff when we do this. But the thing is, the reason I like this item is, firstly, it's a fun little item, isn't it? So we can turn the black heart into a coin, but that doesn't really do a whole lot for us. So now our tiers summon little death shadows on top of the enemy, which does it. It makes the item a lot less completely useless. And that right there is the nail on the ISAAC, because this item lets us turn stuff that normally is just kind of Hey, there we go, the veins happened there, into stuff that's genuinely useful, and it's themed quite amusingly and well. It's just like, if this was just part of the item pool, it would just be a genuinely really good item. Well, not, you know, not amazing item in terms of raw power, but it would have its place. It would let you do something you otherwise couldn't do, and give you a reasonably interesting run. So that definitely worked out. We made some money there. Not as much as I would have liked to have made, but we definitely gained, and I think that's cool. I'm always a big fan of mods, especially item mods, adding a new dimension that we otherwise wouldn't really get to see, a new level of gameplay that otherwise doesn't really appear, and making my enemies constantly drip death blood, summoning death shadows upon contact, turning them into gold with my tears. That's kind of cool, and it's something I never knew I wanted, which I think is another real advantage of this mod, because until I saw, wait a minute, is that ISAACS? Oh, you're really going to show ISAACS in public? Alright then. I didn't know that I wanted ISAACS until I saw ISAACS, but now that I've seen ISAACS and experienced ISAACS, I'm really happy that ISAACS was made, because ISAACS is so much fun. Seriously, I would recommend ISAACS. Have a play around with ISAACS, get to grips with ISAACS, really understand how ISAACS can operate for you, you know? Don't ask what you can do for ISAACS, ask what ISAACS can do for you, okay? You can sit there looking all smug with your non-ISAACS, and you'll never know true happiness, because you don't have ISAACS, and I have ISAACS, and I can hoard the ISAACS. I can sell you the ISAACS at a small nominal fee that even ISAACS could afford, okay? And I realize this ISAACS thing has gone on too long. It stopped being funny a long time ago, was barely Isaac to begin with, and now I just keep doing it in the hope that I can come out of the other Isaac and still end up not completely destroying my Isaac and making myself look like an Isaac, okay, Isaac? Whew, I'm glad I got that off my Isaac. Okay, I'm sorry, look, I like firing little heads. Let's get the rest of the items. We'll get Dead Bird, we'll get E. coli, we'll get Missing Page, we'll get Betrayal, we'll get a theme, the Gall of the Void, woo! And we'll also grab ourselves ARIES. As far as I'm aware... Oh, no, we can also get Bozo, I think. And God, we look terrifying. I believe that this is all of the contact items. I don't want to get anything that isn't, but as far as I know, this is it. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the only thing. Because remember, stuff like Bloody Lust doesn't count because it's not me taking damage. It's anything that activates by an enemy touching me, which I know a lot of the time is synonymous with damage, but it is its own distinct category. So I think for now, this is where it's at. When did I get Mongo Baby? I don't even remember picking that up. Oh God, am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. So right now then, our tiers, because they're ISAACS, sorry, that was not part of the thing, I just had to describe it, can now activate every single on-contact effect in the game. And wouldn't this be a really cool challenge mode, right? You start with this item, every contact item, and you have to get through the game. Oh, look at that! We activated a void circle, which then activated another void circle, and oh, God. It would be really cool if I could make the effect guaranteed, but I'm not even sure ramping up my luck to obscene amounts would do that. Because outside of this item and getting all the contacts, I do want this to be an air quotes normal run. Also, because I do have all of these, when I actually get hit, it's hilarious. Like, everything just explodes out of me. It's really quite ridiculous. And again, I realize what I just said, and because we get a burst of ISAACS from being touched, that burst of ISAACS can then go on to spawn more ISAACS, and it's like a full-on circle of ISAACS, and it holds your soul. It's the circle of Isaac, and I forget the forget honestly most of the lyrics to that. The day I started this run, I knew that it would be so fun, firing ISAACS after ISAACS, and spawning touch effects endlessly everywhere. It's Isaac. It's not really the same, and I'm struggling to parody it, and it's turning out lame, and I just feel the shame, because I just won't be the same after this just crime on this game. I'm feeling so much pain. Oh, singing is my bane, but I cannot abstain from singing because it's one day will bring me fame. I hope that impassioned speech did rescue me from the humiliation there. I hope it did. Alright, let's crap ourselves a little bit more. We'll grab a few little extra little tidbits when we get to the next floor, because, you know, why the hell not? Why the hell not grab a little bit of extra tidbits? You know, what's really sad is I like singing and all that, and then I go to my comment section, and there's just people like, who else just hears Rage singing and skips ahead? Who else stops watching when Rage starts singing? Who else wants to kill Rage viscerally with a knife when Rage starts singing? Who else is hiding in Rage's cupboard for the next time he starts singing? Who else is right behind? Okay, I actually kind of freaked myself out there. I will admit that one actually, I kind of got a little bit freaked out. But either way, I read those all the time, and it's so sad. You know what it feels like when I read those comments? You know, let me explain what it feels like. All right. Mom, Dad, look at this drawing I made. It's just crayon scribbles on a piece of paper. Aw, sweetie. That's terrible. Rip. Throw the pieces in the face of the child and kick it out the room. That's what you're doing. You're kicking me out my own room, you heartless bastards. You heartless bastards. Why did I convert all my health? I was just enjoying the poor experience, really. Okay, let me grab that, spew a load of ISAACS out, and we're looking good. So don't crumple my paper. Humor me, okay? I know it might be painful, but you can do it. Just humor me. Ooh, we could have ISAACS Lightsack. I think this kind of works, right? We can have some Lightsaaks. I can't really do it that well. Ooh, a golden poop. That's kind of convenient, especially if we get the trinket, but we do not. That's so sad. So I'm going to grab 100 luck just to amp things up a little bit more. And then, oh, there was something that I wanted. I mean, I guess technically that does something for us. That will make it. I do feel like I'm distinctly missing some more contact items. I mean, I'll have a quick peruse around, but I'm not entirely sure there is any. I don't think so. I'm not sure. You know what? As cool as the light shot is, I feel like it would be a shame to lose the actual ISAACS, you know? I feel like it would be a huge shame. And I'm going to go with Pisces because that makes the ISAACS bigger. And I think on the very last floor, I'm just going to really pump our ISAAC size and fire huge ISAAC faces because I think that will be a lot of fun, you know. But we'll do that on literally the shop, okay? We'll clear the shop wave, we'll go down, and we'll absolutely clobber Ultra Greed with a giant ISAAC head because I think that will be absolutely fantastic. Yes, you don't want to touch me. You don't want to touch me. You'll regret it. That's not something I want on camera, is it? You don't touch me or you'll regret it. I'm the least touchable person you'll ever meet. They called me all non-touch. Yes, and I will grow up on a farm with a shotgun and an old man. As in, I will be the old man. I won't own a shotgun and an old man. That would be weird. Then again, if you had a cloning machine, you could create a clone and it would let it go old and it would be your old clone slave. But then again, if you're going to make a clone slave, why not make one in the prime of your life? That raises an entire question of ethics. Serious for a second, right? If you clone yourself and program the clone in such a way that it's just an obedient doer of tasks like a robot, is that okay? Or just because you've, like, made synthetically a person for the purpose of doing your bidding, it's still not cool to do that? Would we have equal rights for clones happening? Or can you justify it almost like livestock? That's an interesting one. I'm not sure what I would do. If someone said you can have a clone of you that will do everything that you want and, you know, basically have no free will of its own, it'd be tempting not to say yes, right? You know, just give yourself some extra hours in the day. Oh, God. Do we clone ourselves for labor? Guys, I need to know the answer to this question or I'm not gonna sleep. Either way, whoa, that was a triple. Oh, that was good. That was very, very good. I like me some triple disintegration beams. Oh, look at it. When I actually get hit by something, it becomes awesome. My little army of shadow demons, my ISAAC. I mean, just generally, absolutely fantastic. I actually thought something was wrong there because I couldn't move right, and then I realized it's just a hole in the floor and that I am really, really quite special. Alright, moving on with our lives. Well, the question is, do I want to buy anything? I mean, I'll get Guppy's tail, because we'll work towards the actual Gupster himself. And then I guess I can re-roll. I've got a load of money for it. Hey! Alright, we got ourselves some actual Guppy, which is good. Didn't mean to buy the cube of meat there, but I guess I'll accept it. I'm committed to that now. I'd rather take... Well, would I rather take the Book of Belial? No, I don't want to lose the potential. Ooh, I mean, normally I would take Scythes, but again, I just want a giant ISAAC face. So I guess I'm going to do Eden's Soul, and will we have enough waves to charge Eden's Soul? I mean, I'll try. We have enough floors left, probably, to make it work. I'm not actually 100% sure on that one. I mean, I guess we'll find out. So, the plan. I don't really have an actual plan. I'm just more gonna finish the run. I mean, I guess technically speaking, the plan is get the awesome, huge, giant ISAAC boulders, which is pretty cool. Out of all the traps that you could be inflicted with, suddenly having a giant boulder that looks just identically like someone's face that you know is probably up there on the surreal. I think. I definitely think that's where it is. In fact, honestly, there is something scary about the familiar. Isn't it? You know, when you think that something is familiar but not quite, like when somebody comes home and you think it's one person and it turns out it's another, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it reminds me of the other day when I woke up and someone was crawling underneath the floorboards, which is never a good experience, right? Like, you're lying awake and you hear this sort of heavy rustling and creaking and shuffling going literally underneath the floor. Like, underneath you, and it sounds, and it's not, you know, you cannot explain it as just random creeping. Like, you hear the as somebody moving, like somebody crawling on their hands and knees directly underneath you. So I get up and put my ears to the floor, and I'm listening, and I hear this breathing, and I'm like, Why is there a person underneath our floor? Bear in mind, I've just woke up at this point. I have just woken up to this sound. So I'm there in my pajamas, my comfy pajamas, with my head to the floor, hearing breathing and crawling, and I think I'm just going absolutely mental. And I'm like, what is, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? There's no precedent for this. What does the manual say about person under your floor? Like, oh my god. I mean, obviously you start worrying a little bit. Black hole. I like myself a black hole. Yes, I do. Let's move on to the next floor. Good old Isaac of Isaacs. And I just don't know what to do. And then I hear the noise kind of move. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should follow it. Maybe I can identify what's going on, and then everything will be fine. So I follow it around the house, keeping my head low to the floor, still in my pajamas, of course. And I'm like, all right, it's going this way. It's heading through the corridor towards the kitchen. All right, okay, I see. And then it gets to the kitchen, it starts going under the floor towards the center of the room, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? Is it just leaving? Will I never know what this is? No, I need to know what this is. I'll never be able to be calm again. Oh my god. And then, right, there is a little panel in the kitchen which you can open and access under the floor, and I'm there in the kitchen, in my pajamas, head to the ground, listening at the shuffling going on under the floor, and then I hear the panel sort of bust open and start being raised into the air, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. So I look up, right, I'm still on the floor, but I look up to look what's going on. I guess I've accepted my death at this point. And then the builder who's doing my kitchen pops out, because he was doing some pipe work under the floor, and he's now staring at me at floor level in my pajamas, looking at him. And the only thing I could think to say was, oh, that's all good then. And then I just stood up and walked away before he could reply. And I really hope that he hasn't told anyone about that, but I don't believe it, because if I have that happen to me, then, well, I mean, you know, I would tell literally everyone that I knew, including thousands of people online on the internet, apparently. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, what else do you do when you forget that that's going on and you hear those things under your floor? I mean, come on. Alright, let's get a giant Isaac face, because I think that's what we need. So yeah, really cool mod. Lets you do all your contact damage with firing your tears, and that's just pretty fantastic. But now we need to ramp our damage like crazy. Like absolutely mental crazy. We'll get Eve's mascara. Yes, we will. I guess we also... Oh, look at him! Look at the Isaac face! And then I guess we want to get ourselves Sacred Heart. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're getting our giant Isaac face. Of course, we also want Proptosis. Yeah, there we go. Giant Isaac boulders. We, of course, want ourselves Polyphemus. Ha ha! That's a pretty good upgrade right there, if I do say so myself. And then I think one final big size increaser is, of course, if we have them wobbing along. But then again, I'm not sure if we do want them wobbing along. What I might do is make them bouncing so they don't leave the room. Then I'm going to lower our shot speed as much as I can. It's already quite low. And then we just have this going on, and then they'll just stay in the room forever. I might get Cricket's body, because that does slightly increase the size of tears. And it also means that when it does give up, we have extra little Isaac boulders going on. And obviously I could keep ramping the damage more and 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 more. But I... Look at him go! Look at the giant Isaac face! It's just rotating around. You can just imagine the... as he screams down with his head decapitated. Oh, it's too good. It is too good. So let's absolutely demolish our greedy friend here with this. Here we go. Jump down and... We triggered so many different things there. Holy hell, look at all the void circles coming out and all of the shadows. That was pretty good. So that's the ISAACS, everyone. I hope you had an Isaac. And I'll see you next Isaac. Isaac.
Rage gaming with the video flow, shenanigans and Overwatch, and his fans all know that every single thumbnail that this man makes without fail makes you do a double take, catching your attention with every verse. See, say that you need healing but you're at his mercy. Get it? Cause it's a pun. On his channel, that's one of the better ones. Widow is venomous, I see no end to this. Cataclysm's imminent when Rage is in his element. Pandemonium is not familiar with irrelevance. Maximum Genji beam, oh so elegant. Jokes so funny causing you to cry. Editing is quality as the noon is high. Yo, concussion man, shoot to the sky. Cap it all off with a goodbye.